Well, hello, welcome to another Trimcraft Tuesday video. This week I am doing some scrapbooking. Feels like ages since I've done scrapbooking. Probably only about 2 weeks, but it feels like forever. Anywho, I am using one of the latest collections. This is the Helz Cuppleditch Beach Life collection from Trimcraft. I do have a video share of this collection. If you haven't seen it, I will link it if you just want to see the different elements and different papers and such that are in this collection. And I am scrapbooking a picture of a seagull. And yes, I know that sounds really weird, and I am a bit weird, but yes, it is a picture of a seagull. I'll talk about it in a bit. But what I'm doing here, so my background paper, my main 12 by 12 paper is one of my favourite papers from this collection. I just love it because it's so simple but really beautiful as well. It's this green wood grain, looks like the side of a beach hut or something. It's just such a lovely colour and I really, really like it. And I wanted to incorporate a big chunk of the paper as well that has these rainbow stripes on it. Very much looks like the material of a deck chair. And then I wanted to, but yeah, I put that there and it needed something behind it. So I've just got a piece of random white cardstock, cut it slightly bigger than my pinstripe. It's not pinstripe, what am I on about? The striped piece. And I was going to have it a white border, but that just wasn't quite right. So I've just gone in with some distress oxide in, I think it was wild honey, just to colour the edges of that. The wild honey is more of it's a much more yellowy colour than the ink pad actually looks, kind of thing. But anyway, that colour seems to go really, really well, so I'm kind of happy with that. And then I wanted to incorporate some of the washi. There's 2 washi tapes that come with this collection. This pink one that says Fun Times, then another one with that same lovely rainbow stripe. But putting it straight on the layout wasn't really an option, just because of the nature of washi tape. It's ever so slightly, you can see through it. So instead, I've put the washi on some more scraps of white cardstock, cut it to size, and then I'm cutting banner shapes in the end of it just to have these long sort of banner bits kind of look like ribbon or something. So I've done 1 with the Fun Times washi and 2 with that lovely rainbow stripe. I really like that stripe. So yes, this is quite classic scrapbooking for me, I would say. There's not really, apart from a little bit of distress oxide, there's not really any mixed media or anything. So yeah, just, you know, a bit of classic scrapbooking going on here. I'm going to cut the different banner shape in the end of these. You know, there's the arrow shape one and then the more bannery shape one. They must have different names. I'm just drawing a blank on what they're called. But yeah, so those are gonna go on down there. 1 coming in from the left and 1 going in from the right, kind of thing. So yes, those on there. And then I have, there's a ton of embellishments in this collection, my dears, just so many, and I'm going to use many of them anyways. But I am just going to back my little photo here with that lovely really bright pink paper, because that's really going to make the photo stand out. I've fussy cut a bunch of stuff from the paper pad. I've got a couple of the seagulls, some of the buckets and spades, and I've fussy cut a load of ice creams as well. I'm also going to use this piece from the decoupage pad to sort of frame my photo as well, just to have that sort of dark yellowy orangey glitter around the edges. Unfortunately, we are covering up those cute little froggies, but I've got plenty more in the decoupage pad of those froggies, so, you know, it's okay. So the picture, long-time subscribers to my channel will recognise this guy. This is Cedric the seagull, and he lives on our roof and has done for many, many years, and he is a little bit too friendly, this seagull. But, you know, he's fab, and we're used to him. He knocks on the window for food. He comes to my craft room window and knocks and kind of creepily watches me for very long periods of time. And this is actually what inspired me to do this layout. I was sat in my craft room. I think I was just looking at this collection, trying to think what I wanted to do with it and stuff. And he landed just outside my craft room. And I was like, you know what? There's seagulls in this collection, so I'm just going to do a seagull layout, a picture of Cedric the seagull. So yes, and I think with seagulls as well, especially this kind of gull, you know, the big herring gull, the classic gull kind of thing, they're very much a traditional image of a seaside town. You know, you've got your beach huts, deck chairs, ice creams, and the gulls as well. And so yes, I thought that would go quite nicely with this collection as well, because it is very traditional British seaside vibe going on in this one. I've also included lots of ice creams in this one, because seagulls are famous in my town and most British seaside towns for stealing stuff, stealing ice creams, stealing bags of crisps from shops. There's a shop in my town that had to move its crisp display inside because seagulls were just taking it you know, taking the bags of crisps and flying off. So yes, they are little thieves. So that's why I've included the ice creams as well. A little nod to that. The frame I put behind the picture there, if you saw my unboxing video of this collection, I don't know what FedEx did to my package, but they my poor little wooden frames arrived quite broken, but I have been able to use one of them on this layout. But Trimcraft, bless them, did send me another pack of the frames, so now I have lots, and I think they are one of my favourite elements of this collection, so that is just fab. That big beach hat I'm using there, that is one of the, from the toppers pack. I think it's called the character toppers, but I'm basically just using it as a really large ephemera piece. And just, yeah, sticking down all these little die cuts and stuff. All the banners I've put up the top and down the bottom, and then a little piece over on the left there. Those I use the dies that come with this collection, and the paper, you can just see it on the left there, the kind of spotty paper. I think it's glittery as well. Anyway, yeah, I just die cut a load of those, and I've just stuck them on, yeah, like that, just a little banner thing going on. And I'm also using these little puffy sticker banners, just because, yeah, lots of banner layouts going on for me lately, or bunting layouts. I don't know, I'm just feeling the bunting these days. Don't know what that's about. What else am I doing? Oh, just adding more bunting. But yes, this picture of Cedric, by the way, is not zoomed in at all. When I say he's a bit too friendly, he is a bit too friendly. I was sat in the garden and he just came and landed on the chair right next to me, just right next to me. Thankfully not on the same chair as me, but right next to me. So as I said, it's not zoomed in at all. That's really where he is, kind of thing. Oh dear. I do like this bird, but he is a bit of a pest sometimes. And also, when he gets that close, it is a bit unnerving, because they are big birds. I mean, there's lots of different types of seagulls, but herring gulls, they're big. There's a lot of them, and there's a very big pointy beak when it's, you know, a couple of feet away from you. What did I use there? Oh, a couple of stickers as well. The glitter stickers, very, very pretty. I really like those. At this stage, I was kind of like, something's missing from this layout, like I'm not 100% happy with it. So I decided to do that really classic thing where you do a sort of, I think would you call it a peekaboo corner? I don't know, just you fold over the corner and then put something else behind it. So yeah, kind of looks like the layout's been backed on another piece of paper, and you're just pulling it, but you're not really, you're just using a little triangle of it like that. And I did use some more of that oxide in Wild Honey just to colour those corners that I'd folded over, because they didn't look quite right when they were white. That was weirdly hard to say. Oh, and I distressed the edges of those corners as well with a distress tool. Now, you may have noticed me fiddling with these pegs throughout this process. I just really wanted to include them. I really liked those pegs that came with this collection, and it took me ages to figure out what I wanted to do with them, and then I realised they would look actually really good on that corner that I folded over. So that's where they actually end up going. I may have forgotten to put them back on before finishing this video, but they will be in the final pictures. I'm also going in with Distress Oxide and Frayed Burlap. I like that word. Burlap. That's a fun word to say. Anyways, yeah, going in with that just around the edges just gives it another layer of depth and dimension and whatnot. I don't know, it's distressed and I like it. I prefer it that way. So my title is Resident Seagull. I will point out as well, I know bird nerds get annoyed when people say seagull, because they're like, all gulls are seagulls. You don't have to say seagull. Saying the sea is redundant. But you know what? I don't care. Everyone calls them seagulls, so get over it. But anyway, Resident Seagull is the name of this layout. Those are Pink Fresh Studio alphas I used there in this sort of peachy colour, which actually went quite well, I thought, with this whole collection. Like, I was going to use a black alpha, but I'm so glad that I spotted these alphas instead, because I think black would have been too strong and you would have looked at the title first rather than the picture of Cedric. So, yes, but yeah, as I said, Resident Seagull, he lives on our roof, wakes me up every morning with his and he's pretty friendly. He will occasionally even eat from your hand, so yes. Also, if anyone's going to have a go at me for feeding the seagull, then to you is all I'm going to say about that. He's basically part of the family, but also not, because he does freak me out on occasion. Anywho, I'm now just doing some stamping with some roller stamps. I think these are both old Amy Tam ones. Couldn't tell you from which collection they are from. And just things like lol and hello there and oh goodness, because, you know, that's kind of what you say when a very large seagull lands next to you. You kind of go, oh goodness. Anyway, and then I'm finishing off with some of the Dovecraft Pearl Effects. They're just like Nouveau drops. The only difference is you do have to tap them or flick them from behind to make them more enamel drop shape. But I really enjoy that process, doing the little flick and then they go to kind of go pleh. I know that's really sad, but I really enjoy it. But anyway, that colour was the Red Brights, I think. It's more of a really, really, really dark maroony pink kind of colour rather than red, but I do think it kind of goes with this layout. And you saw me put the gems on, already did that, and with that the layout is done. So thank you so much for watching. I will of course leave links to as many things as possible in the description box down below. If you have any questions, anything to say, please do leave me a comment. I always love comments. A thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, okay, going. Thank you again. Bye bye.